Alrighty, welcome back. Jodie and I have the great Kez Legend to share with us some tips and simple things to mitigate your EMF exposure.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Very exciting. Our new little series.
So welcome, Kez.
Welcome, Kez. And
So great to see you girls. It's just you're both looking beautiful.
oh, thank
Back
you.
at ya.
Thank you. So, this is part of our 5-day detox challenge, and day one is minimizing EMF exposure. And we have EMF expert Kez Legend with us, who we've interviewed multiple times. And so, Kez, we have a question for you. What if somebody was going to start minimizing EMF exposure? What are your top 5 to 10 things that they could do starting on day one?
First thing I would say is what I just did this morning. When I wake up, don't look at any screens in the house, as in phones, computers, laptops, TVs. I went straight outside barefoot and looked at the sky. That is my DC charge of the morning, and that tells my pineal gland, pituitary gland, the eyes are directly, not just for seeing, they're for everything. And that tells my body what actual time it is. The moment you look at a screen, like we're looking at now, your brain, whether you like it or not, is being told it's midday.
Oh, wow.
So if you wake up at, let's say, 7 in the morning, and you look at a screen like your phone, which is what a lot of people do because, they want to hear about the life stories of other people, then their brain straight away thinks it's midday. So you lose all of your morning hormone secretions, your cortisol, your thyroid, the endocrine stuff that gets you up and going. So first and foremost, stick with nature, because nature's kind of, she's pretty clever. And we can't really replace her. So get out, look at the sky. I think it's really important, bare feet, and then come in and look at your screens. Next thing, try and minimize the amount of time you're on your phones. Now, I know that that's difficult, but I do very, very rarely will I ever make calls on my phone. I try to text as much as I can. And whenever you are making a phone call, please note, guys, that in the process of that phone connecting and you putting it to your head, that is the highest 100% amount of power you're receiving straight into your brain. So we've got people now getting these glioblastomas and brain tumours and acoustic neuromas in the ear and parotid tumours, okay? These are things that are happening on the same side that they've been holding their mobile phones. So I never ever would, if you can have I basically use, and I'll get them for you. These, it's just like a earphones that I put in, and these actually protect my brain. I never ever, anybody with a neurological condition should never hold a mobile phone against their head. So if we're serious about digital detox, people, you want to get some of these little numbers.
And they're wired headphones, right?
Yeah, but these are actually wire free, if you know what I mean, because you do not want all of the EMF going into your brain.
Oh.
And many people are walking around with these AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
Can we throw those in the bin?
Yeah, all the Bluetooth is no bueno for your brain.
No good.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, try and minimize that. I tend to, if I've got to be on a computer, I don't like it being plugged in. So I will charge and then please unplug and try and use it on battery if you can. Why is that, Kez? Because we're all talking about radio frequencies, but what about your normal electric and magnetic fields in the house? So people are unaware that they emit a lot as well. In Australia, it's 50 hertz. In the US, it's 60 hertz. But there's a lot of what we call dirty electricity. Now, this is, I guess, if you think of a EMF as like a sine wave, and we have this sine wave going, and basically, because of all of the gadgets we've got in our homes and because of all of the other stuff we're using, it's being chopped up. So a lot of our computers, etc., run on DC, direct current. What's coming out of your wall is AC, alternating current, alternating back. DC just goes one way. Now, they have to be converted from AC to DC for your computer to work like it's doing now. You've got modems that do the same, modulation, demodulation. They have to do this changing. So things like computers will have these gadgets attached to them, which basically do the conversion, and that lets off a big magnetic field. So if we now know, and it's been known for ages, that magnetic fields are deadly. They're strong link to leukemia, lymphoma, and we all know that. So people are all worried about that 5G tower out there. What about what's in your bloody home, in your home, mate? So for example, standing in front of the oven when the oven's on, massive magnetic field. If you're pregnant, don't be doing that. We all know not to stand in front of the microwave, but we all forget about the oven. So let's get to basics here. Even when you turn your oven off and the fan's on, I measure massive magnetic fields. Do not stand in front of the oven if you can. Takeaway is great. The other thing is I tend to, if I can, use Ethernet cables, which have all of the Wi-Fi in the actual cord.
Right.
Wi-Fi is in the air, guys. Wi-Fi is in the air, and that's what's hammering people. So remember, we've said this about pregnant women. They won't eat eggs, they won't smoke, and they won't drink alcohol, but they'll have their mobile phone on their belly, or they'll have their laptop on their belly. Now, remember that we are largely water and we are electromagnetic beings. So this is direct transmission into little bubba. And we're seeing sad things happening. So we need to be mindful that it is unnatural. Sunlight is natural. Moon is natural. We grew up with that. But the moment we went from DC to AC, alternating current, there's nothing natural about that. The other thing I would possibly say is check out where your smart meter is. If that's, and smart meters are usually on the outside of the house somewhere, or your unit. And if that's in your bedroom on the opposite side of the wall, change rooms, because you're getting hammered all night. It's 24/7 and it's knocking out your immune system. So I'm finding a lot of people are not sleeping well. And a lot of that is not to do with, they turn their Wi-Fi off at night, which is rule 101. So I turn off my router at night because I don't want that. I'm not going to use my computer overnight. I'm not going to be attached to Wi-Fi overnight, and I don't need it. However, smart meters run 24/7 regardless. So I am very mindful that people who have their smart meters on the other side of their bedroom wall, they say they're not sleeping, they've got insomnia, they're getting rashes, their behavior is changing, they've got all these hormonal issues and diabetes, blood glucose skyrocketing, medications, because their body is being stressed. And when your body is stressed, it doesn't know what it's stressed about, but it releases cortisol and adrenaline. Having worked in ICU, our patients, a lot of them needed insulin infusions, even though they weren't diabetics, because they were bloody fighting for their lives. They were stressed to the max. Okay.
Wow.
So we got to realize that glucose is an energy fuel when your body to normally get through the day, but also it will rise when you're super stressed. So diabetics are having major issues and they're not realizing. It could be they've got their mobile phone in their pocket, or they've got their mobile phone in their bra, or they've got their mobile phone. So I have a EMF phone cover. And I also, sorry guys, I also, because I like to just make sure I'm protected, I have a bag that I use.
Yeah.
And I put my phone in that, because you know what? I want to make sure that I'm not being exposed. I know we need our phones. I know we need all of this technology. Just use it. I mean, be a bit more sensible. Do you need to check your phone 300 times a day?
No.
Just saying. Do you need to take it out when you go out? Do you? Do you really need to take it? How about a digital-free day?
Yeah. Or like at least like take 30 minutes a day or something like that, right? Start like that. And I know when I go somewhere in the car and I have my phone, I won't bring it in with me. I'll leave it in the car because I don't need it. Yeah.
And I have to say this, Jody, is using your car in your phone. I would never do that. Only because you're in a metal box in your car.
Yeah.
And the EMF is trying to get out to a cell tower and get back in from a cell tower, and you're being microwaved. Anybody with an electric vehicle, I would not recommend.
Yeah.
And we've got to realise, and they'll go, oh, but that's not Wi-Fi. Listen, mate, electromagnetic beings, think about this. I said that magnetic fields are huge. Whenever you have electricity on, you have a magnetic field.
Right.
You can shield electricity. Magnetic fields are far harder to shield, far harder. So if you're sitting in a car with your phone on in an electric car, let's just see what goes on. We've had increases in rectal cancer.
Yeah. Huge increase.
So,
I know 2 people
yeah.
that have it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just think about this. We've had increases in breast cancer where women have had their phones. We've had increases in hip pain, hip dysplasia. We've had increases in
That's
strange
me. I
tumours.
put my phone in my bucket on my left-hand side. That's why I had severe advanced arthritis. Was going to need a hip replacement, but the patches are helping me. So
Thank God, and that's fantastic. So knowledge is power, but only when you use it,
exactly.
and when you share it.
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I had to learn through working in an intensive care unit where I was getting smashed with Wi-Fi. My heart rate was going up to about 180, and the last thing I would say to people is with shielding, because I think there's some cleverer things you can do that are they're free. Turning off your Wi-Fi at night.
Mhm.
Basic things like try not to put your phone up against your head, speakerphone, get some, proper EMF protective earphones
Yeah.
for walking around on your phone. Trying the newer gadgets in town, like there's goddamn nappies out there with RF chips in them that will text the mum when the baby's wetted.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Smart nappies.
it's a smart nappy. The other thing would be baby monitors, Wi-Fi baby monitors. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got to understand that all these things that are so wonderful are at the expense of, especially with young ones, because their skulls are thinner and they've got more, water in their body compared to us old buggers, that they're going to be hit far greater. And it can cause behavioural issues in kids. It's now known with, in France, they've taken Wi-Fi out of schools.
Mhm.
And
That's
they have
good.
seen a vast reduction in child misbehaviour.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
So, there are schools here that are saying no more phones because they're seeing the kids are distracted.
Distracted, exactly.
We
Yeah.
have less attention span than a goldfish now.
Yeah.
So that's worrying.
Yeah.
That we constantly need these distractions. So, I would basically say to people, keep it simple.
Yeah.
You don't need to have everything on, and that includes your lighting. Mhm.
Yeah,
Put on a
exactly,
candle.
lighting, and I think too with if you're not using your phone, put it on airplane mode every chance you get,
Absolutely.
right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And being mindful that with airplane mode, it's still, you've got to be mindful that I still like to have a distance from it.
Yes.
So with electric and magnetic fields, the best friend is distance. And that's
Yeah.
the same with our phones. You don't need it right next to you if you're
No.
working. So try and have it a metre away. Things like clock radios in bedrooms, even though people think that they're amazing, and Kez, it's not on, but the screen is. That's a magnetic field that's coming straight. If that's right next to your head,
Oh, right.
you're being exposed. So I don't have any technology in my bedroom
Yeah.
because it has to be a sanctuary.
Right. I remember
So
when I was doing an EMF reading and I was going around with this device, the number one highest thing was my hair dryer.
yeah,
Unplugged.
yep,
And I was like, "What?" It
yep.
was crazy.
It's
Wow.
not it's not a joke. Your
Yeah.
things like hair dryers, because these things generate so much power. If you're holding it, I actually use a rubber glove when I'm using my hair dryer.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because you've got to think that energy's got to go somewhere, and it's
Right.
going to go into you.
Yeah.
So, this is why even people with pacemakers, and they'll say, oh, these pacemakers are now insulated, etc. I still have clients who will say to me, and I had one lady who couldn't sleep next to her husband who had a pacemaker in. And the reason was his pacemaker was wirelessly radioing back to the cardiologist every hour, his heart rate. So in the middle of the night, every hour, she's waking up like, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell? So, and when I went and did the assessment, I couldn't believe it. And when we actually contacted this cardiologist, anyway, when we requested, do we really need to be having this on all the time? They did disable it and her symptoms stopped.
Wow.
Wow.
So, people would say, call that a coincidence. I don't know. But I am seeing way too many young kids now, and I'm talking young kids, having out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. That should not be happening. And I am concerned about the amount of digital technology they're being exposed to at a very young age. So your kids have got their phones, they've got their laptops, they've got everything. They go to school and you've got 30 laptops in a classroom. What house has 30 laptops? Not many.
No.
So these kids are getting migraines, they're getting dehydrated. And like I did say to a mum, what you can do is get your child outside every hour if they can in between classes, looking at the sky, and take their shoes and socks off their feet and ground, because it's creating a lot of positive charge and inflammation in the body. So just get them to ground. And the teachers stopped it, saying that the children, because of work health and safety, were not allowed to go barefoot in the grass. So I really am concerned that we're not getting enough natural light.
Right.
We're living in artificial light.
Yeah. Yeah.
I try to use natural light as much as I can. And in the evening, when it's screen time, my blue blocker glasses go straight on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
remembering,
the blue blockers. Yeah. And I forget about mine. Forget to put
yeah,
them on.
and it's easy to do, Jodes, but people will say, oh, look, I read my Kindle at night.
Oh, that's so
I'd rather
bad.
read a hardcover book. So
Me
let's
too.
get back to basics. Let's get books. Let's get magazines. And basically, I have a soft light, usually red or orange lights at night.
Mhm.
And if I don't have those, I'll wear blue blockers because I don't want to stuff up my melatonin secretion.
Right. Exactly.
Remembering every time you're looking at the screen, it's midday. So if you're looking at your screen at midnight, and then
you're wondering why you can't, get to sleep. Yeah.
Because your body's pretty clever and it's going, mate, what's going on? You're in the middle of the day, mate. So first and foremost, how many have got endocrine issues? Oh, about 100% of the population. So let's just get back to nature. Wake up, go stand on the grass, look at the sky. Hello. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's cloudy. You're going to just wake up your innate circadian rhythm.
And barefoot so you can discharge, right? Discharge.
Discharge.
Yeah.
If you have to go on a plane, if you have to go into any areas that are highly electrified, as soon as you get home, take your shoes and socks off and go and stand on grass if you can. The best place would be on a beach in the water.
Yeah.
And just discharge, but also not only just discharge your positive charge, but also receive negative from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is negative, sun is positive. So we're connected. We're electromagnetic beings. Don't think that you are somehow different to that. So far, whilst we're still human, so I would generally do those sorts of things to keep it nice and simple. I'm really mindful with turning off and unplugging devices at night that I can. TVs will always remain on remote, even when you turn them off. So if you've got a child's bedroom on the other side of the wall, these electric fields extend 6 feet. So people always talk about the Wi-Fi, and I'm thinking about the wiring in the walls.
Yeah.
So we've got electric wires in the walls, and that's what I also test for. Is I'll take another meter, and I will see where the wires are, and I will say your head can't be there. Yeah, your head can't be near there. So often I will get people to pop their head where their feet are, and their feet press the wall.
Yeah.
And they can suddenly sleep.
Wow.
It's just amazing that the magnetic fields, etc., will just drop off immediately Where is your switchboard in your house? Is it right near a room where you are?
Right.
Because you will be being exposed, because you can't turn your fridge off at night. There are things that are going to be running all night. So don't have an office or somewhere near those. Have a look around at your environment. What do I need? Do I need that? Do I need 3 hair dryers? Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we've got a lot of gadgets in the house that we maybe can reduce our need or use of.
Yeah, that's a good idea, especially if you're not using it, right?
Kettles.
Yeah.
If you're turning on a kettle, stay away from it until it's boiled. These are things, whilst power is running, remember it's emitting a huge magnetic as well as electric field. When you turn off the power, the magnetic field goes, but the electric field's still there because it's waiting to come back on. So electric fields, we can, like I said, we can shield, and that's not a problem, but distance is your friend. So remembering, when I'm working in an office, try to have as few cords around you as you can. The cords that go to the wall, the cords that, all of the electrical cords that are under your, under your legs, you're copying radiation.
I have lots of cords.
And that's the thing. These power cords with all the, they're all, and people are sitting right next to that. Yeah. Or their blooming Wi-Fi router is under the desk facing their genitals.
Wow.
And the guys are wondering why they've got prostate cancer. Or they're having issues. There's lots of stuff going on. Because our body doesn't know what to do with this, it gets stressed.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, we stop functioning optimally. It affects our digestive system. We stop absorbing properly. We start gaining weight in the abdomen or in the breast, because that's fat stores, and that's where our body wants to store these toxins. So women are coming to me saying, I've got all this abdo weight, Kez. My breasts are getting bigger, but I don't know why. And I just know, because it's where fat is, the body's trying to save their life.
Yeah.
And even though they're dieting and they're trying all these things, the body's not feeling safe enough to let that go. So when I say to people, they say, I've got a shield from that tower out there, and hey, mate, how about you have a look around your house?
Yeah.
So cordless phones, dangerous. Okay, I don't like them. Mobile phones, use with caution, use sparingly. And I always, when I'm holding my mobile phone, I always will be holding it using something to protect me like this. Yeah. I don't hold it directly, because you are basically a passage right up to one of the breasts.
Yeah, I have one of these. I don't know. I got it from it's a protective, like a wallet,
Yeah, I've got a similar one.
Yeah, I don't hold it. I don't hold my phone anymore.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. And it's just simple things. And I know that there may be some expense involved in that, but looking at grounding and looking at the sky is free.
Yeah.
At the moment. Yeah. And it is free at the moment. Just wait, get ready for the next bloody, drama. And first and foremost, with people, stop being scared.
Yeah.
All right.
Stop living in fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop it. Just be clever. All right. We're fine. Like you said, we all somehow woke up this morning and we're breathing. Thank God.
We're still here.
So,
how amazing is our body, Like you say, our bodies, we push this fat and we're like, can't get rid of my love handles. Love them, because they're loving you.
They're loving you. They're protecting you.
And you know what? That's so true, Annie. That's what I say, thank your body for saving your life, because you have got no idea what it's going through right now.
Right.
And I'm a big believer in terrain theory, and I think that the germs aren't out to get us. Okay, we just need to clean up our act and honor ourselves, and not blame anything else.
Especially our body. Not blaming our body, right?
Exactly. And we would get these people coming in psychotic, and the first thing they want is their phone. And I'm thinking, that's the last thing they should be needing.
Right.
I'd want to put them in a forest or in the ocean and say, mate, if we had hospitals with retractable roofs to let in sunlight, now wouldn't that be nice?
That would be fantastic.
It's a beautiful healer. Ultraviolet light is not the devil. Infrared light is amazing, and that's what you
Yes.
get first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can get it in many ways, patches from ourselves because we emit infrared light, but
Right.
also getting out there in the morning, have a look at the sky.
Right.
And I just find people become less inflamed. Mm.
Yeah, it makes such a huge difference. They are new things, paradigms you have to incorporate into your routine. But you know, do it for a week. Watch things change. Watch things shift. You'll
Yes.
feel even calmer, less on edge. You'll be able to actually nod off quicker as opposed to lying there wondering why you can't go off to sleep. You know, you
Well,
might not snap at your husband and the kids and be like,
You
oh
know,
yeah, I
and
wow,
that's
remember
exactly what
I getting on all fours too. I did that a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing because I had weird tingling in my hands because I think I was holding a device, my iPad or something, and I just went outside and I was there for like 10 minutes with my hands and my knees and my feet on the ground, and they just stopped hurting. There and there's the
oh,
tingle went away,
how
and I
clever,
felt great.
Jody.
Yeah,
And you know, that's the
yeah,
thing. Don't wait till the device is hot to
yeah,
realize it's affecting you, because we've got the worst protection standards in the world,
yeah.
America and Australia in particular. Don't wait. And that's what they're basing it on,
Hmm.
is a device heating your tissue. Hang on a minute. No. If you're feeling tingly, if you're feeling anything like that, and I know if your heart rate's, but the worst thing is people don't know why their blood pressure's up, why their blood glucose is up, and they're getting diagnosed with conditions that may not be what people think they are. So they're put on
Right,
medications.
right.
And the medications can make them feel worse. Of course, we now know they are the second leading cause of death in Australia and medical error. So, as I used to say to my nursing students, Annie, you were one of them, our license is a license to kill if we don't use our head. So dishing out pills to people is not the answer.
No.
It is not the answer. You are the answer. If you're looking for a guru, go look in the mirror. Um,
yeah.
Unneeded, unwanted technology. If you don't need it, don't have it. Don't. Candles are beautiful. Mood lighting. I don't like dimmer switches. They emit huge dirty electricity. Solar panels.
I love candles for light. It's
I
amazing.
love candles
Yeah.
too, except when they burn the house down. But that's
Yeah.
another story. But
Talk about the solar panels.
the solar panels they collect DC energy from the sun. It has to be converted to AC to use in our homes. This is done via an inverter. These inverters emit huge dirty electricity, and that means magnetic fields. Do not be near the inverter of a solar panel. Solar panels are notorious. A lot of electricians don't like working on them because they're live all the time. Okay,
Wow.
they
Whoa.
can't turn them off. So you've got to be very mindful with solar and the wind turbines that create a huge amount of dirty electricity. Farmers are getting sick. Their cattle aren't making milk. They're wanting them now off
Wow.
their land. So these so-called energy efficient devices, just be mindful. And I've had people who have solar in their home and they've never believed me, and I've taken my meter with me just to say, look, just say I'm not some idiot. And they've been stunned at the
Wow.
amount of the magnetic fields that it's pulling out. Remembering distance is your friend. So move away from it. So don't have your child's cot on the other side of the wall. If you've got a refrigerator, it's got a motor, mate, and it's going to run all night. Don't have a cot or a bedroom on the other side of the wall. Use this detox day to think
Mhm.
about where are the devices and where are we sleeping and sitting.
Mm.
Where do you spend most of your time? Bedroom, and often in the kitchen, or the lounge room. And have a look at the devices there. Have you got distance between you and that? Is your Wi-Fi router right next to you? Move
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And what about your dogs and your pets? Think about them too.
You know what, Annie? One of my colleagues, her dog and cat were sleeping right next to the Wi-Fi router, and both got critically ill. Of course, in comes Kez and goes, I know what's caused it. And they moved it. Those animals recovered almost immediately.
Wow.
Wow.
That's so
They were
cool.
on medication for anxiety. Can you imagine? The dog was seeing a psychologist. Anyway, medication for anxiety, Someone's
Aw.
making a lot of money there. And the poor cat was just feral. And they were just going, we can't control them. And I said, where do they sleep? So I always ask, I always go to the bedroom first. Where do they sleep? Because sleep is detox time. Your
Yep.
brain can only detox at night.
Yep.
So if we're doing detox, you must sleep, people. All right.
Yeah.
We have a glymphatic system, and that glymphatic system clears all the crap out of the day. And my God, don't we get enough crap?
Yeah.
So if we can't do that, and the first thing we do is wake up and look at our phone,
Yeah.
yeah, we're assaulting our body. It's a form of abuse.
Mm.
And I know that Jack Cruz, I love him, but he just thinks that giving a young child a phone should be a form of child abuse.
Yeah. I do not
I'd agree
disagree
with
with
you on
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but these kids now are addicted, and that's the saddest thing is we're now needing. Well, these phones were created by addiction engineers, so you got to look at
Well,
the
I know somebody who gave their 5-year-old had a iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're wanting, and there was apparently in the States there was a big kick up because the kids' uniforms had a Wi-Fi chip in it,
Oh,
and the
wow.
kids were being, and the school said, oh, it's just in case they were abducted, we'd be able to track them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Internet of Things will become the Internet of People if we don't sort it out.
Oh, it's
The other thing,
already
just
there. Internet of Bodies.
think about
Yeah.
your amalgams. Think about the amalgams in your mouth, any
Mhm.
mercury, metal that you're wearing. Tattoos now are creating issues because they're metallic.
Wow.
Makes you an antenna, so therefore you will attract these fields.
Mm.
So just be mindful of that you don't, we often will have these things in us that could cause the issues as well. And we're seeing some strange behavior, some strange erratic behavior, which worries me.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I was suffering from terrible ear ringing. And I know it was from EMF. I know it was. And
Yeah.
I still have some amalgam fillings in my mouth. I've gotten rid of some, but not all of them. But it was awful. And the X49, patch really helped with that. So
Yeah, that just sounds really amazing.
yeah.
And I think, this is what I just want people to, I don't want us to lose hope. I want
Yeah.
us, remember guys, we're the good ones. And we are drowning in information, starving for wisdom. And I think sometimes people have become quite complacent and they're either going to believe everything or they go the extreme. Nothing is real.
Right.
It's all a lie. And I think that's really sad
Yeah.
because there are good people out there. Like just look at you two legends, and there are good people out there meaning well. We're not all on the bad side. So I'm saying to people, get out of your head, get into your heart.
Yeah.
Your heart never lies. And just go with you and stop putting your faith in these doomsayers, etc., because that's what they
That's what I
want.
say. And they want us to live in fear. And to me, it doesn't do any good to go there. It doesn't do any good. It just harms you.
No,
No,
And
because
and
going there mentally actually injects your energy and your belief into that thing staying
Yeah.
powerful. So
Yeah.
just don't even subscribe. I unsubscribe
Yeah.
to plenty.
I'm just kind of like, sorry, I'm not letting that in my energy field.
Unsubscribe.
And that's really good, mate. I often, when I, if you get a thought in your head or something, I just say, you're not welcome here. You're not from me. This I say to myself, could you go back to where you came from?
Yeah.
So I often will just say, this is not helping me. This is not helping me be optimal, these thoughts. And
Yeah.
I always will snap out of it. Now, we all have up and down moments because that's called living.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about just being aware, well, how's that working for you? Feeling like shit all the time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like I say, misery loves company, that great saying, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. So, having people around you that constantly are living in fear or are basically putting you down in some way, shape or form. Friendship's not about that. Friendship is not just giving, it's also taking, and it's also not being a bag of blood to a bunch of bloody vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
They
good.
will suck you dry and then
Yeah.
they'll keep coming back for more. You know that, Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we need to just be mindful of the company we keep.
Yeah.
Look at your kids' friends.
Mm-hmm.
See, technology.
That was my reminder, my patch off.
Oh, cool. No, and basically in the bedroom, people keep your bedrooms clear of all. Don't put computers in the kids' rooms. They can have a battery-powered alarm clock or airplane mode. Your alarm will work in airplane mode, but have the phone about a meter away from you.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple, and basically try not, turn your Wi-Fi off at night if you can.
Yeah.
Some people turn off certain power supplies, but if you do that, know which one's the refrigerator, because like I did, I turned off the whole freaking thing anyway.
Hope it wasn't middle of summer.
It was, and Jesus, I'm still paying for it. And laugh. When I go walking, I have a battery. I have a battery-powered, an old battery-powered recorder, and I don't have bloody phones and stuff to listen to. I just old time, and
I need
I
to
love
find
it.
my old Walkman.
Get your old Walkman out, because that is fantastic. Yeah, and
My
if you're
little
not
cassette
sure,
tape with my
Analog.
little cassette tape.
if you're not sure if you've got a lot of dirty electricity, get an AM radio.
Yeah.
Because the dirty electricity emits in the AM band, not the FM band. And I just put an AM radio and I put it onto a static, not onto a station, because I don't want to hear the station. I put a little bit of static and I move it near an electrical device, and you will hear it really increase.
Yeah.
And that's telling you there's an electric field there, electromagnetic field. And that's telling you there may be a wiring error. Now,
wow.
if you didn't build your home, then you may not even notice it, and it could be causing issues in the home.
Wow.
So first and foremost, where do you spend most of your time? Kids are spending time in school a bit. Wi-Fi city there.
Yeah.
Stay well, and then you won't need hospitals. You won't need to. You don't need doctors, because you're your own doctor.
You are your own doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your body certainly knows more than we do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing that I suppose that lockdowns did do for a lot of people was families started exercising on that 1 hour that we got, because over here in Alcatraz,
It was.
Freaking Alcatraz, mate, Victoria. But you could see people actually getting out on their bikes and walking and talking, and how's that communicating?
Yeah.
You don't need to do that via text.
Yeah.
So I generally will say to people, just get out in the morning first thing in the morning. Don't look at a screen if you can. And if you do that with your kids, and like with my nursing students, I told them, put those bloody mobile phones in airplane mode at night, and they all slept better. And we did it for a week. It was a 1-week experiment, and they never went back.
Wow.
And when they found out about the effect on sperm motility, they were ringing all their partners to say, get that phone out of your pocket, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want healthy babies. We're born perfect. So don't poison that little one. Yeah.
We're born perfect. Exactly.
They are born to be extraordinary. And like we've said before, we're here to live long, die short. So let's just do that. Let's not be living short, dying long. Because you know what? I'm done with illness.
Yeah.
So take your health into your own hands. Just make some basic changes. And electromagnetic fields, whilst, they're wonderful for use for technology like what we're doing now, they can be done safely. Yeah. I'm not asking people to go live in a cave.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice one. Thanks, Kez.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Jody, it's bedtime.
I know. Without my phone. Darn it. No.
Without your phone, baby. And look, thank you very much, you guys, for what you do. You're amazing. And you guys, really are inspiring, and inspiring for many others.